So hello, beautiful members, and thank you as always for continuing to support the Intuitive Soul membership. It just means so much. I love doing these readings for you, as well as your personal readings. But yeah, really grateful that you're sticking with us, and hopefully you're enjoying our monthly astrological and energy readings, and as well as those personal readings. So yes, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. So let's have a look at our April energy. I have to be honest that when I first was looking at the alignments, I did have slight trepidation, but I was determined to look for things that were positive and that were, sort of growth, and any caution we just needed to keep in mind. These energies are always fluid and they will affect everybody differently depending on where those placements are in your chart. So this is obviously just general guidance. I haven't sugarcoated it, but I have definitely looked for the things that we are going to be feeling the most. I would say the strongest energies that are coming in. So it is a month that is going to steadily build momentum, and it's going to go from quite a busy energy initially, and then it's going to sort of ground itself. So we're moving from sort of fiery energy in Aries into this lovely grounded energy, this earthly energy in Taurus, which helps us slow down and be able to take our time a little bit more. But the Aries energy is really going to be pushing you. It's going to be really compelling you to get things done and jump on, and it's excitement and it's movement. But again, sometimes it can be that we're shifting a bit too quickly and we need to actually look at things a bit more closely. So that does come through near the end of the month. So let's start on the 4th of April here, which is our first sort of the major thing we're going to feel really in our energies, which is Saturn in Pisces, and we have Uranus in the Taurus energy. And this is going to be a period where we really appreciate routine, okay, and consistency really, but also at the same time we're going to be finding excitement in the idea of change, a bit of disruption, and the progress we're making. So it's a real balance of energies there. They're almost opposites, but we're feeling that we're holding on a little bit to our routine and we feel we need that consistency, but at the same time our spirit is being drawn to be ambitious and want to get going. So we're sort of being pulled in two different directions there. Now, I definitely am feeling that at the end of March, coming into April energy. So I do think that's just something that continues in on those first early days. Now, I would say, try and take it slowly and stay calm if you can. It will just help with all the other things that are happening. So we're still in a Mercury retrograde at that point. So there's miscommunications and a bit of confusion and misunderstandings, okay? So if we can just stay mellow through that instead of really trying to push forward with that progress at that point, we're less likely to run into obstacles or hurdles or have any disagreements. So just being mindful at the beginning of the month, even if you're rearing to go, just take a deep breath, think it through a bit more if you can before you make that big decision. So as I was saying about Mercury, on the 7th of April, Mercury then goes back direct, okay? And that is going to clear away that mental fog. Anything that's been blocking you, anything that's not been clear, it is going to bring through that clarity, and just lift any clouds that have been obscuring your vision or your judgment. Now we're moving forward now to the 13th of April. This is where we have a full moon in Libra, and our sun is aligning with the asteroid Chiron, okay? Now that union is going to bring a need of balance in relationships, okay? So we have this connection, collaboration, where we might have this struggle between the want for intimacy and really deep connection, but also wanting independence. So again, like that early energy, it is almost opposites, and depending on where you are in your relationship and your connections, if they're healthy, this is going to be beautiful deep intimacy and a natural ability to pull away and do things by yourself, okay? So you're going to have those beautiful energies, it will flow. However, if you are in relationships or connections or collaborations with colleagues or friends, if you aren't all pulling in the same direction, this might be something that causes a little bit of disagreement, where we're wanting one thing but someone else is pulling away, and it's trying to juggle those energies a little bit. So just being mindful around that time. Now, romantic relationships, particularly at this time, are in the spotlight because Venus has gone direct. So this intimacy element and this push and pull sort of energy, it could be a maker or breaker, is what I'm going to say. So it's going to make you stronger, or it might start clearing away connections. And as I say, particularly romantic connections, particularly any intimacy in relationships, is going to be under the spotlight here. We move forward then to the 16th, and Mars goes into Mercury. So we can think of this as like clicking the fast forward button. There's suddenly going to be massive amount of energy and ambition and drive, because we have our warrior energy of Mars, Mars being the planet of war, and getting things done, and energy. It's like an energy pack. And we also have that coinciding with Mercury, which is our communication. How ironic that I couldn't find the word. So you might find yourself speaking quickly, moving quickly, being impulsive. So what I would say here is really be mindful of burnout. Okay, this is a sort of energy where we don't really see it coming because we're so engrossed and we're so driven and we're wanting to move. We know where we're going, but that speedy progress can lead to a burnout at this point if we're not being mindful of ourselves. So really, as I've said in this energy already, coming in from the beginning of the month, there is this balance constantly of moving forwards but not too fast. Check yourself for burnout. Relationships could be amazing, but also it might be a push and pull sort of energy. So just really taking your time, if you can, to think about things before you act. Just think about the consequences before you act, because sometimes, depending on the situation around that particular area, you might find yourself falling into more difficult energy rather than being driven forwards in a really positive way. Now, on the 18th, we have Mars moves into Leo, and that is two fiery signs there. We have that war, that drive, we have that ambition, that power, going into Leo, which is all to do with strength, and again, it's another fire sign. So those two things together means our ambition is accelerating at huge pace. We're going to be firing on all cylinders here. Now, because we have these two signs together, this very powerful energy actually helps bring clarity at this point. Okay, so that energy of confusion and push and pull suddenly becomes all push. So you might feel yourself even being pushed out of your comfort zone at that point, but go with the flow. If you want to start a project, that's the moment. If you've got something in mind, really, you're going to absolutely be taking leaps and bounds ahead. You're going to be making massive progress at that point. The next day, the 19th of April, is when Taurus season begins. Okay, so it is closely followed by the last quarter moon in Aquarius. And those two energies again bring sort of attention and power struggles. So we slip in and out of this energy. It picks up over from the sort of 16th to the 19th, where we are being direct and we have all this ambition, this drive, and we're getting somewhere, not risking burnout because we might push a bit too hard. And then very quickly we're back into this tension and power struggle. Now you can get control issues here as well. And that can carry on right round till the 26th of the month. Okay, so just being mindful that this could, this Taurus energy could bring a tension into your connections. So if something isn't very healthy or it needs clearing out, it will be around this time of the month that you're going to find those things starting to niggle you. You're going to start having these, this moment of standing in your power, thinking, I'm not happy with that anymore. That's not good enough for me. And you're going to be protecting yourself, protecting your energy, and protecting what's best for you. So just be mindful of that, of how you're going to deal with that potential energy coming in. And if you're in business or in collaboration with people, and particularly in relationships, again, we're going to have this moment of leadership being questioned, or maybe new leaders coming in. So just be mindful of your position, and how that tension might be building. Now, we have this energy because of Mars and Pluto. Now, they are changing and challenging dynamics in relationships. So, as I say, if you're in a very healthy relationship, you're in a good business relationship, friendships, this energy is probably not going to be a big deal to you. But it's when there are issues, when something isn't quite right, these energies are going to start clearing that out, and they're going to start demanding that new leaders step forwards. They're going to start undermining those people that are in the wrong positions. Okay, so just again, being aware if something isn't quite right. Okay. Now, on the 27th, we have our new moon in Taurus. And now that's going to help with any long-term ideas. So if you're planning anything long-term, that's the moment to plant seeds. Okay, honestly, that they will pay off. So set your desires here. The prep work's almost done. It's like you've prepared the soil, and it's now time to plant those seeds. And they will be coming, they'll be ripening throughout the next few months. So yeah, really good time there, that Taurus energy in the new moon. Then on the 30th of April, we have Venus moving into Aries. And this is like bold lover energy, okay? So expect your partner, if you're in a good relationship, to be, picking up and throwing you on the bed at this point. There's passion, there's desire, there's drive. And if you are single, this might be a really good time to do a bit of more bold flirting, really putting yourself out there if you are keen on getting things moving. Now, all I would say at this point is look before you leap. Okay, if you want to start something off that's more long term here, then that's great, but take it slowly. This passion, this drive, this desire is going to make you want to act quickly, and you might just miss those things that are important. You might find yourself going down a path which you're not wanting. So any relationship you start at this point could just be a bit of a flash in the pan. It might just be a lust and a passion that quickly dies out. But if you're looking for something long term, your advice here is to definitely take that step, but just be very mindful to go slowly with it as we go through at the end of this month and everything starts to slow down, and then into May. We're going to have a lot more caution and careful consideration as we get deeper into that earth energy, into that grounded energy. But yeah, by all means, if you're just looking for a little bit of fun, a bit of passion, then that is the time to act, okay? Now, as I say, it really does feel like this month is almost in two parts. Now, that first half being quite bold and weighty energy, that push and pull, as I explained. And then we're stepping forward into a more cautious, careful, it's a period where we really need to trust our intuition. So it is taking that time to let things sit, taking that time to question, taking that time to be a bit more slow moving in making choices and decisions. And that energy, it's very fast, it's very ferocious. It is that warrior energy that we saw coming through at the end of March, all that drive and ambition to get going and momentum. And it just starts to slow down. You're pulling back then. It's almost like you've made the headway, and now you can slow down into it and relax a little bit and start then being able to take time to look around and make your choices, take time to smell the roses. So yeah, but feel that change. It's going to be shifting, but right at the end of the month, and then we're going to slip nicely into May in this lower gear. Much more pleasurable, but possibly not as much action going on. So if you want action, if you want adventure, and you have drive and ambition, this is the month where that is going to be absolutely at the forefront for you. So make the most of it. Any ambitious plans you've had or have, this is the time to start putting them into place, particularly around that new moon, because obviously that energy of new beginnings is going to really help drive that forward as well with your manifesting. But if you are hoping for something quiet and sedate, I don't think April is going to be that month, unfortunately. But as I say, these are all very flowing energies. Everything can change, and it depends where in your charts these particular planets lay. If you don't have a lot of that in your chart, you might find that you barely even notice it. But if you're heavy on those different elements, then you might really feel that sense, that pull towards them. So it'd be interesting to see what we get in the cards now for our advice for April. I'm hoping that we have some advice and suggestions of how we deal with these different energies. That's what I'm looking for, I think. So let's go over and have a look at what comes across in the cards for our energy reading. Okay, so let's start with the crystal that I've chosen. So I decided to choose a tiger's eye this time. And funny enough, this is about releasing fears and anxiety, which I feel for the coming month, we might feel like that, knowing that the energies coming in could be a little bit difficult. So we might be trying to utilize those energies really to let go of any anxiety. Now, this stone is really good at bringing internal clarity and also for mending relationships. So if there are issues that you find arising in connections in relationships, tiger's eyes are really one good one to carry or use. Sort of keep it in your pocket, keep it around you when you're having conversations, or if there are any difficult moments that you need to deal with. Possibly wearing it will also help keep your own mental clarity there. Now, this is a really grounding stone. It's linked with the sun, and it does help us stay balanced, stay neutral, and stay in control of our feelings and our thoughts. So it could be a really good one to utilise for this month, actually. Just pop one under your pillow or under your chair where you work, just keeping that energy around you, just in case you need it, really, with that strange dynamic of give and take this month. So I was really drawn to do a charm as well. So as always, I'm just going to look away and just see what energies or advice we're getting through from our charm. Oh, there's a couple there. Let's pop them out of the way. So we have the dinosaur and a little star that says, I love you. Okay, let's pop them down there with our crystal. Right, so now oddly enough, I was trying to choose a tarot and I was being told not to use the tarot. So I have pulled out my tea leaves. I've been told to use them. Now, as always, when I use these in your own readings, I can't shuffle them live because there's so many of them, but I know will be drawn to separate cards. And I'm sorry, as you're looking, if you're desperate for me to choose a specific one. 2 came there. Seeing that one. And that one came out with it. Any others? Being told to take the top one. Okay. Just move that big pile out the way. Hopefully I won't drop them all. Okay. So let's have a look. We have the ladder, climbing towards success. We have the cup. You should accept valid criticism. The tortoise, slowly but surely get ahead. That's really relevant, isn't it? I've just been saying, if you can, slow down, take your time. We have the month of August. And we have the quill, get back to basics. So let me just shuffle them all up a little bit, actually. That would be better, wouldn't it? There we go. Okay, so let's have a look. Now, this is the Gilded Riviere or Riviere. I never remember the name. That one's just jumped straight out. So we have the bridge. What other messages or advice do we have, please, for April? What do we need to know? Okay, and we have the whip. Let's put them over there. Right, the next cards are the Elemental Oracle. Okay, Spirit, what do we need to know? What energies, what advice? Whoa, definitely that one then. Any other messages we need? Okay. So we have wildness and electricity. Definitely feel like we are in for a bit of a wild ride this month. Okay, So I was drawn to use these cards. Now, I don't often use these in collective readings, but I was definitely told to use them. Now, these are Secrets of the Heart. We have Time that's just leapt out. So any other messages or advice for us all? Collective energies for April, please. Wonderful. Okay. So we have Beauty. And we also have Confusion. Although I'm going to think about confession as well. That's the reason that I misread it. Okay. That one wants to come already. Ancestors, generations. Okay, what do we need to know, please, through April? What energies? Oh, that one jumped and went back in. Just put the ceremony one there down. Any other energies? There was. Okay. So from the Earth Magic, we have Dreamtime and Creation. And funny enough, that came up, didn't it, in a collective reading fairly recently. So we'll just pop him on the end there. Don't know why I said him. Well, it is a man. Okay, let's go over then and have a look at those messages and that advice that's coming through. Lovely. So let's start with our dinosaur. My son would be extremely happy right now that there's a dinosaur here. So our dinosaur. Now, to me, straight away I thought of old-fashioned, something that resists change. So I think for this coming month, the energy really is, you're going to struggle if you're trying not to go with the flow here and not be pushed with this energy that's coming in. Now, I got this real opposite here because these big dinosaurs, they were quite slow, quite cumbersome, but there is one of them, and I'm really ashamed in a way that I know this fact. One of them, I think might have been a Brachiosaurus or a Brontosaurus, I don't know. It was able to move its tail, they believe, at the speed of sound. So it would use its tail as like a whip, and it would crack and it would make this sound. And they used to use the sound as a deterrent, but also they would use it as a protection from prey. And we do have the whip later on, so I that's why that came to my mind, that I thought, oh, there is that. But it's sort of a juxtaposition, isn't it, of this slow, cumbersome creature that actually has the ability to move its tail that quickly. Now, the other charm that came out with that was the star, and the star says, I love you. And so to me, I was like, oh, it's the love star, or the star of love. I don't know if it will pick, my camera's not focusing very well, is it? Things near it. I do apologise. So the star of love, or the love star, is sometimes what we refer to as Venus, and that's what came to mind, this sort of love with the star itself, which also, the stars for me is illumination, it's clarity, it's wish fulfillment. But also alongside the dinosaurs, which became extinct, I did think that, you know, if there are problems in these connections, there could be a love that is distinguished. You know, it's like the put out, the passion goes, or coming to an end. I didn't like that coming to mind, but it did come to mind, probably because of the astrology. Right, so let's head over then to our tea leaves. Now, the tea leaves all have a message on them, but I will give you the message, but often I just intuitively go by what I'm picking up from the cards. Basically, I ignore it. I'm sorry. You know what I'm like. Okay, so we have the ladder. So the ladder, which says climbing towards success, as it's, you know, as it seems. Now, to me, the ladder is definitely about moving up. It's possibly about promotions at work, you know, step on the ladder, the next step on the ladder. I also thought, you know, there's a lot of forward momentum here, stepping forwards, but also step forwards with caution. You know, there's nothing below you here. There's nothing to stop you falling. So there's no handrail. So definitely anything that you do where you are moving forward or taking on new responsibility, just do so with a little bit of caution at this point. As much as there is this temptation to run ahead, just, I would say, take one step at a time. Okay. There is also an element of don't look down. So if there are opportunities coming and sometimes fear comes in, I would say don't look down. Just keep looking ahead, looking forward to the goal that you want to reach. So our next is the Cup. This one says, you should accept valid criticism. Of course, we all should. None of us really like criticism. Some find it much harder to accept than others. So the Cup, to me, I literally was told, keep pouring energy into yourself. So if you keep pouring from your cup to others, energetically wise, you very quickly have an empty cup, and you will feel quite low, quite like burnout, actually, which we also had, didn't we? So yeah, just keep pouring energetically into yourself, keep topping yourself up here. I'm also getting, I'm being told it's a vessel, so your vessel, your body, something about really taking care of yourself at the moment. I'm also being told, allow things to cool down. So if you find there is a situation that becomes heated or challenging, or there are disagreements or conflict, allow it to cool down. Okay, take your time. You don't have to deal with something immediately. Just take that space, give yourself a bit of space from it. And I'm seeing the differences because we have the cup and the teapot. So yeah, differences of opinion, difference in the way we do things. But yeah, definitely just be mindful of letting things cool down or calm down if you do end up in situations where you feel that you're either getting defensive, or if you're feeling upset, you know, just think, you know, I just need a few minutes. Just, can I just have a minute, and then allow that to settle. I'm being told something about tea leaves. That might be just really relevant for one person. Something about tea leaves. If any of you have tea leaf readings, or if you use loose tea, there's a message there. So if someone's offered to do your tea leaves, or you look at tea leaves, there's a message for somebody. Right, our next one is the tortoise. Slowly but surely getting ahead. Now, the tortoise to me is always the hare in the tortoise. So slow and steady wins the race. I say this a lot in readings, I know, I'm so sorry. But basically, I think, again, it's that retreat if needed. If you imagine the tortoise pulling back into its shell, and knowing that there are times when we just need to pull back, we need to retreat, we need to go inwards. So the other message for me for this would be to use your wisdom and good judgment in a situation. Yeah, pull back if needed, pull back in, go backwards, retreat. If you don't feel that your energy is in a good place, you know, just use your wisdom. Now, the tortoise to me, sorry, my battery's telling me it's low. The tortoise to me is often like the old sage, someone with lots of wisdom. So yeah, use your discernment, use your life experience, and know when is a good time to think, I'm just going to back up a bit, I'm just going to pull back here. Also, another message for introspection, isn't it? Of going inside. It makes me think of the Hermit card from Tarot, where you just need to take time on your own to figure stuff out and work on yourself a little bit. Next, I'm going to go to the quill, which says, get back to the basics. Back to basics here with our quill. Now, for me, it was all about communication and messages. I feel like some of you are going to be receiving messages. I feel like some of you need to be mindful of communication. Now, there's definitely something important that's going to come to you, and I feel like it's coming in writing because it's a quill. I don't feel like it's going to be a voice message, or it's going to be said to you or passed on to you from someone else. I definitely feel it could be a text or an email, but I feel like something written. Someone is taking time to do this, and they're using energy and love. It could be divine messages as well here with this lovely white feather on the quill. And I'm just being told by Spirit to really express yourself wisely. Be careful how you express yourself at the moment. Things are likely or could easily be misinterpreted, misconstrued, or that just a lack of understanding of what you're trying to say, particularly with those text messages and things. There's no context, is there? So it's really easy to misunderstand. So yeah, just be mindful about how you're communicating, and make sure things are coming across in the right way. Okay, so we have the August card. Now, I will always say with tea leaves and anything in Oracle or Tarot which has a time frame, I always take that with a pinch of salt, because August could be August last year, August this year, August in 10 years. It could be the 8th month. It could be in 8 days, 8 weeks. It just could mean anything in 8 months' time. So Spirit, obviously, you know, unfortunately, they're not always really direct frustratingly so. So we have to take everything and try and interpret it. So for some of you, August will be a really key date. There might be something really important going on. It could just be summer. Okay. Now, to me, this is a sun, and it's making me think of illumination, things clearing. Look, we've got the clouds clearing away. Let's hope they've cleared away by August. Sorry. So we have this illumination, this clearing of the clouds, these new beginnings. With the sun, it's always energy of vitality. Things are heating up, things are getting hot. Our desires are coming to the forefront. I'm getting the Texas song, Here Comes the Summer Sun. So maybe they're just telling us that next month it's going to be nice and sunny and warm. But yeah, something also about booking holidays. Maybe some of you are booking your holidays. Possibly some of you are gaining clarity or confidence about a possible move abroad, moving away to sunnier climes. Okay, but yeah, maybe something in August. Could just be that during the summer, these energies are going to come into sort of fruition somehow. Something coming to you at that time. But yeah, really, I'm just drawn to the clouds clearing, and we're getting this clarity. Okay, so let's move over here then to the bridge card. Okay, so our beautiful bridge card here is, for me, it's about two sides pulling together. I feel like somehow for some people it's going to be trying to make those two sides work. I mean, they don't look like the most amazingly structured bridges to me, so it's almost like someone's trying to make something work. They've figured out a way to pull it together, but you know, it's a bit, I mean, they're very beautiful looking, it looks great from the outside, but are they actually practical? How strong is this bridge? So there's something there about something that you're trying to desperately hang on to or pull together. I also feel that this could be overcoming hurdles or obstacles. So even though it looks a bit precarious, you found a way to get across to the other side, something that you're able to overcome. Do get something about movement here, definite shifts. You're moving from one phase to another, you're moving forward, there's progress. I'm being told scaling new heights. So you are now reaching, like that ladder, you are climbing up, you're moving forwards, and you're pushing yourself to these new perspectives, these new places. I'm also getting a sense of competition here with, like, my bridge is better than yours. Like, you've built a bridge and then someone tried to build a bigger one. I've also just been told that if there are difficult people, tell them to build a bridge. Probably don't do that. That's not good for conflict, is it? But yeah, I've just been getting that. I don't know what that was about. Yeah, build a bridge. But maybe some people are building bridges. If there are difficulties, if there are miscommunications, you know, try and overcome them the best way you can. And that's probably the best advice, isn't it? You know, we all make mistakes and things get difficult and challenging sometimes. And the best thing we can do is try and find a way to come to a solution, even if those two sides are very different. You know, here we've got one that's much lower than the other, and so they've built the bridge up on one side more. So, you know, build each other up. Let's try and support one another, build each other up, and create those bridges between differences if we can. Particularly this month with the astrology, it looks like there might be some challenging energies where we're stumbling into miscommunication and maybe some disagreements. Okay, so next we have the whip and a bit of a broomstick, or like a bundle of twigs. I'm not really... Okay, so I am seeing this as someone cracking the whip. That's just what came into my head, crack the whip. So I feel like there's a bit of pressure on. You might feel pressure from others around you, from a colleague, from your boss, from a partner. But there's definitely energy and movement here, fast moving. It's it comes out of nowhere, okay? And it literally, it can sometimes be quite painful, the whip. But we know it is motivation. It's going to get us going. It's a kick up the bum to get us moving where we need to be. I am being told it's going to be something that gets you back on track. Okay, so there's definitely a lot of energy here, a lot of movement. And with this piece of I'm seeing like an old a besom, I think it's called, isn't it? Like a witch's broomstick. But this one has no handle. So I feel like there's going to be some clearing away of stuff that might be a little bit hard work. You're going to have to get down on your hands and knees and use a bit more effort to clear things this month. But it's worth doing. If a job's worth doing, it's worth doing well. I've just been told. I don't know who's in my head today. But yeah, there's something about that besom of it is broken. Someone's tried to keep those twigs together there with this twine. So it's almost like you're trying to frantically hold something together that's already fallen apart, and you're then trying to clean with it. You're trying to make it useful. So if there are relationships, if there are connections around you that you are desperately trying to hold together and make them work and piece it together, with that old bit of twine, it will feel like a struggle, I think, this month. And maybe that's where the crack of the whip is. It's like, you've just got to make this easier on yourself. You've got to see it for what it is. It's a broken broom. You need a new one. So yeah, there might be that element of letting things go, clearing things away. Again, I'm also being shown just a need for decluttering your environment, decluttering your head, clearing stuff away. But the way you've been doing it, or whatever method you've been doing, it's like it's not quite whole. You're not quite getting there. So maybe find a new tactic, maybe find a new way of doing that. But I feel like someone's going to be putting pressure on you to do what you're trying to do and not quite getting there with the cracking of the whip. Sorry, I don't know if that was very clear. I was sort of confusing myself there as I was talking about that. And again, there is confusion. Let's go straight to that then, because I've just said I was confused. So yeah, I do get a sense that there is a need this month to take this time on your own to get clarity from this confusion. And again, it's in that sunshine. It's like the clarity coming, this illumination's coming by taking this time out. I am sort of feeling like a period of rest as well, and allowing the whatever's coming, allow it to come. But you're going to need to be, I think that solitude is important to allow those things to come. Now, I did misread this as confessions, and so I do feel like when you've had time on your own, some of you, not all of you, will have a need to talk about things, your feelings, what's happening, and just get real clarity on a situation, or just a sense of who you are, and then you need to communicate that to those people around you. Now, this is a really calm period. You can see the waters are calm, we can see quite clearly. So the way to clarity is that solitude. It's taking that time out for yourself this month to allow that clarity to come in. So the other words on the card are uncertain, unclear, unsure. So if you step into any of those energies this month, where you're just thinking, I just don't know which way to go, I'm not sure how I feel about that, or like we said earlier with the teacup, if things are really hot and fiery and you think, I don't want to act on this, I'm unsure, take that time out. But I think that solitude is really important, because it's linking in with that tortoise card as well of be introspective, ask yourself, what do I want the outcome to be? What's the best way for me to respond? What is it I need from the situation? What is it I'm trying to put across? So it's just taking that time to get things straight in your head before you communicate, I think, is important. Okay, I would like to go to the wildness card next. Now, this is just so thrilling and exhilarating. I'm getting a lot of passion from this card, throwing your hands out in gay abandon and just having fun. So the electricity card, I'm feeling like enjoy yourself, open up to pleasure, and let things flow. Let them flow through you. Emotions are an energy that has to pass through you, good, bad, and indifferent. Whatever they are, let them pass. They won't be there forever. But the enjoyment, hold on to the moments of enjoyment, be present with it. Really take your time to think, I'm loving every second of this. Definitely getting an intuition and instinctive energy from this card. And I get that from the wildness, like a wild beast. It's intuitive, it goes with its gut, it has instinct. So I think you need to do that. There is enlightenment coming. So all this confusion that was around you and not being sure, and the clouds that were, you know, that fog, that mental fog, it is all becoming clear. Okay, things are being illuminated for you. And I do sense a lot of spirit with this card coming through. So you might be sensing downloads, you might be getting intuitive messages, you might just have a knowing about something. And even if you're not someone that taps into spirit a lot, you might just start thinking, oh, that's funny, that's weird that that message has come through. But paying attention to it, it means something. It is a download for you to pay attention to. Yeah, and just let it flow through you. Yeah, there's a divine energy here. It's I'm feeling bliss and lust, and there's lots of very high vibrational energies, and taking time to enjoy them. Don't rush through that. They're things to hang on to, and slow down, so that it's almost like you can slow down time and think, this is pleasure, this is my happiness, this is where I want to be, and soak it in, really hold on to it, soak that up. We try and let negativity go very quickly if we can. We feel it, we accept it, we understand it, we try and navigate what that's about. You need to do the same with happiness. We need to really be like, wow, what is it about this that makes me enjoy it so much, because I want more of it. And then remember it, hold on to it, let it soak in, let your body absorb it like a sponge. Our next card is time, waiting, cycles and moments. So I really do feel, again, it's the time, it's wait, it's hold back. The right moment will come. Slow down, don't rush. Okay, it could be, I'm also being told, when the time is right. So you'll know, and then if the time feels right, it is that going for it. Really, you know, take that leap of faith. Don't fear, don't have anxiety. Just let those things, let yourself be guided, let yourself be taken by your intuition, so it's flowing through you. But yeah, the right moment will show itself to you, and you're going to know when that moment is. And I've just been told, in a moment, or it's only a moment. One moment. I don't think it's going to be a long wait for something, and for this energy to shift. It is literally but a moment. But it's important that we're not trying to rush through something. Take a moment, be in the moment, all those things at the moment. Then we have the beauty card. And again, I feel this is linked with time. Take the time to see the beauty in all the things around you. So I'm also being told that it's a really important month to keep your compassion, show your kindness, because there's change and movement happening. You will be wanting to spread your wings. You're going to want to fly. You're going to be really pushed for progress, for movement. But it is really important to keep ourselves authentic and not forget to be kind and patient and loving, you know, as we move forward. Now, I'm also being told to stop and smell the roses, which we had, I'm sure I said that in the astrology, like take the time to stop and, you know, and enjoy the flowers, or, you know, something similar. So yeah, definitely take that time to appreciate the things around you. And again, it's slowing down time. Give yourself that time just to think, oh, I'm so grateful for this. Isn't this beautiful? Where are we? And look how far I've come. Because you are in a period of change. The change has occurred because we're already at the butterfly stage and it's already flying. So often we have butterflies in a cocoon, or they're just about to hatch. But this phase of our year now, you've gone through that transformation, you've changed, you've started to open your wings, and now is your time to soar. But before you fly for too long and get fatigued, it is like, just stop and enjoy it. Enjoy the flowers, enjoy being. Yeah, just be. I'm getting the song from the Beatles, Let It Be. Okay, so we have the Ancestors card, which says generations. So I definitely am getting a sense that there is a lot of you are moving away from past patterns. Yeah, you're like a trailblazer. You're making a change. You are losing those, we call them ancestral curses, don't we? Things, repeating patterns, repeating cycles within families. I feel like there's a lot of growth here. Sorry, I haven't shown you the card. A lot of growth here with the snake, and obviously year of the snake. And I think we have 3 cards with the snake in, actually, in this particular reading. Now, I definitely feel like things, you're moving through obstacles here, and you're literally going to, you're making headway, but things, yeah, you're not going to find things difficult. You're literally going to avoid or go around or find your way around obstacles that maybe people in the past have found difficult, or maybe yourself in the past have found difficult. So you're navigating past obstacles. It might be things that have come up in your past or in your family's past, or maybe fears or things in your mind that have that you have feared being difficult to overcome. So you are going to be able to navigate that. You're making headway. There's this great change and growth. I'm also being told there might be something that you need to let slip through your fingers. So you might need to again, it's letting something go. It's not holding on tightly to something. If it's broken, you've got to let it go. Same with that besom. There's things falling away still, but you are going to let it slip through your fingers, and it's going to feel easier than you think it is. And I'm being told, don't look back. Don't look back at things in the past and still let them hold you back. Just keep moving forwards here. Okay, then we have the ceremony card. Invocation. So again, we have the snake again in this card in our corner here, and our lady who is using crystals. She's surrounded by lots of, she's got dream catchers, she has pendulums, crystals, as I say, and she's doing some sort of healing with her hands, and she's got her aura showing. So definitely a period of tapping into spirit. Okay, bring your own internal balance back to where it needs to be. Take that time out. Meditation seems to be coming in really clearly here. Introspection very clearly again, and really trusting your higher self. Trust your spirit, trust your guides. If your intuition is telling you something is wrong, then you know it's not for you. But if it feels right, then you are definitely going to be accelerated towards it this month. But where we had our snake making all that progress, there are going to be periods of rest, and the restful times are times for you to do that inner work, to really tap into yourself, to do any healing you need on yourself, and just let yourself slow down. And I really do feel that's that energy of that push and pull that we spoke about, and then that sliding from the Aries energy, that speeding. You know, we're at full whack. We've got a tank full of petrol, and we're just literally got our foot down, full speed, and then we can just ease off and go on cruise control. I feel that there's this momentum is going to carry on, but we don't have to put the pressure on. We're not like full throttle. You know, your mind's whirring, you're not sleeping, you've got ideas jumping out of every part of you. And then there's this period of like, oh, I can just sit back and relax into it. And now I can put all of that planning into place, so that those seeds are planted, ready to be fruitful. So yeah, really, really important this month to take that time when things do slow down, to take your foot off the pedal a little bit. And our final card is Dreamtime Creation. And again, we have snakes coming out of this didgeridoo. So let me put that up for you. So again, I feel like this is a period through April where this creation is, you know, it's literally spilling out from every part of him, isn't it? There is so much creativity around at the moment, particularly because we're in spring. You know, it is the period of growth. It's just become the new year, new cycles, Aries being our first sign of the zodiac. So we're in this beautiful new energy, and we're in a very dynamic, ambitious and driven energy. So those ideas, those plans for your future are definitely needing to be created. So once everything slows down, those ideas are going to come flooding in through early April. When that energy starts to slow down, when we get to around the 19th, when we're slowing down into that more earthly grounded energy, that is that moment to then think, right, how do I put this into action? Start planning. Take that slow energy with all the ideas you've just gained and that wisdom to start creating, start putting things, planning them, start bringing them to you. The way to get a dream is you make it reality. The way you're going to achieve that manifestation is to make a plan. Because the moment you make a plan, you make something real, and you're forcing yourself in a direction towards it. So really, really important that once you have all these amazing ideas, then it's planting those seeds. It's putting things into action and getting them ready, and start seeing how they're going to work. Now, I feel like this, again, you might be collaborating. There's lots of other faces here if my ring light doesn't go on it. Definitely downloads from spirit, and it is trusting it, speaking it. Now, we are balanced here. We need to be grounded. This energy here, I'm really thinking like Aboriginal energy, you know, like Ayers Rock. I'm thinking, I think it's Uluru, isn't it? But yeah, I'm thinking of like the outback. Okay, be clear, don't let things distract you, be grounded, be balanced, be centered, and then let's create these ideas. Do it from a calm, centered place, and you're more likely to succeed. But definitely speaking those things into action. And I'm picking up, I don't know why I'm seeing this, but I'm seeing it, it's a gem of an idea. So if you get an amazing idea, run with it, really go for it. If you have it's a gem of an idea, and it's going to attract people. And funny enough, we've got lots of tortoises here coming from the didgeridoo. And so again, it's slow moving energy. It's asking you to slow down, but it's also very dynamic. We have fish here, and we have the snakes. It's adaptable, it's flowing, it's growing, and there's lots of change. And there's definitely a lot of insight here, as his third eye is illuminated and he has the sun above his head. Definitely need to be a bit vulnerable as well. He is naked. So whenever I have cards where people are baring their skin, I feel like there is an element of allow yourself to be open, allow yourself to be vulnerable, be honest about what it is you want. Put those plans out there, put your ideas out there, your dreams, your goals, and be really open about them and express them really clearly and with passion. Lots and lots of passion. Okay, my lovelies. So that is the advice and energies from spirit for April. And we've had our very not difficult energy for April from the astrology side of it, but it will be, I think, a bit of push and pull, and sometimes that energy might be a bit uncomfortable or a bit confusing, and it may just cause potential disputes or disagreements, or a feeling of lack or frustration maybe from others. But take that time out, really sit with it, take a moment, let things cool down, as we said, before you act, just to avoid any unnecessary problems that may occur. You might see things falling away, and with this passion and desire, you could see an increase in those relationships where things are moving to the next level, where you're it's taking commitment further, you're finding that you're much more passionate with them, and you're being able to be very open and loving, and very lustful, obviously, with that Venus energy. But you know, if you are starting something new, you might find something does come in if you're a single person, but be mindful not to rush in, because the energy really is, if you rush in, it's going to be short-lived. And if you're looking for something long-term, or you want something that's a bit more stable, then just slow down, hold back on it. Don't throw everything into it immediately, and let it sort of reveal itself slowly, and then you will have a much longer lasting relationship with very good foundations, but that rushing in may mean that that is a, you know, a short-term fling or something like that. And if that's what you're looking for, then God, the end of the month's all yours. Get yourself down casinos. Anyway, my lovelies, have an amazing month. Let me know if you want to, anything that's happening, how you're feeling about the energies, and how you got on last month. You know, how did you feel through the March energies? I definitely felt a lot of the ambition, a lot of the drive, and that call to leadership, that call to step forward and step up out of your comfort zone. It was an energy that would boosted us. And even if it was quite challenging, it did feel that there was a lot of optimism coming and a sense of knowing change and opportunity was sort of on the horizon, even if you couldn't quite see it yet. But the idea that that was definitely there for us. So let us know if you've shared any of those emotions as well. So lots of love. Take good care. As always, thank you so much for supporting the Intuitive Soul. It is such an honour, and I love each and every one of you and all of your energies. So take care, and we'll speak soon. Bye.